Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilleys Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. We're going to do one cast today. It's April 10th. It's a beautiful morning. It's cold. It's about 30. When I got up this morning about 5, it's 37 degrees. I think it's a little colder now. A little chilly boat ride coming up, but not too bad. Though it's going to warm up into the 60s today, so they're still running 5 floodgates and 3 turbines at 15,000 CFS, so no change there. I boated up here to Lookout Island, did another boat ride video, and I'm going to go ahead and throw a 1/8 ounce white jig for a little bit, but I've got some sculpin and peach and sculpin ginger jigs ready, and I think I'm going to drift down this bluff bank and work the eddies a little bit like I did the other day, and did real good. The sun is just coming right over the bluff, so it's in my eyes, but it won't be there for very long. I hadn't decided which side of the boat I'm going to fish on this eddy. We were coming up here and fishing when it was 20,000 CFS. You can look over there and see where the water was, about 1.5 feet, almost 2 foot higher. So this area right here is a lot shallower. But I still think I'm going to throw right out here because it drops off the island in a little hole right here. So see if I can catch a fish on the first cast. And then I'm going to move on down and start fishing the eddy, or fishing the bluff. Get out of the sun. It's pretty blinding. Feels good though. Now I can't watch my line because it's right in the sun. Whew. Move right over here. Oh, I just had a bite. I'm going to try to catch one on the first cast, but I'm kind of cheating now. Just dragging it around. Oh well. I did catch one. I was going to give up and he was there. Well, that was lucky. Decent little rainbow. Not sure if I deserve that fish, but there's the first. Look how pretty that thing is. Just flawless. I gotta watch my camera because I'm afraid it's gonna be moving on me a little bit today. I'll throw this white jig a few more times. I'm still kind of at the end of the island right here. Really good fast water dropping off the edge into this hole. I think there'd be a lot of fish here. I just heard something behind me. Eat something. These fish have seen a lot of threadfin shad. Here in the last month. So they're going to be hitting white for a while. said, we've still got 5 gates open, so we still could be getting some shad over the top. Steve Dickey, his client, caught a 26, 27 inch rainbow here a few days ago. We posted it on our Facebook page. I'm not sure if he caught it in the eddy or what. He just said, oh, I just missed another one. He just said, look out. I just missed another one. Lookout Island. 3. Missed 3 right there. This is really perfect. I mean, I can see the island right here, and it drops off into this deep hole, and fish are just sitting on that drop off waiting for another one. Stuff to come over the top. They will get used to seeing the white jig though, and they'll quit hitting it. They're kind of nipping at it. I'll have to force myself to leave here in a minute if I'm going to fish that bluff. I could probably sit here for a while and catch fish. This is a little embarrassing. I'm missing them. My tail's not that long. This eddy is just holding me right here, and right in the same spot. It just perfect. I can just catch fish. I got lucky catching the first one. Now I'm hitting the bottom. Okay. Be nice to look at a big brown that's sitting down here, maybe. Wow. I'm getting a pretty good tap. Huh. Okay. I'm going to try to move on down a little bit. It just hit it reeling in. Saw no boats on the water. I was up before daylight. No boats went up. I was the first one on the lake. As far as in front of the resort, I hadn't seen any boats up here. It really is surreal, the lack of boats now. I guess you go up on some of the bigger lakes, Table Rock, Bull Shoals, there's quite a few people fishing. Heard, of course, crappie fishing's really good on Truman, Lake of the Ozarks, Stockton, and there's quite a few people still out fishing. kind of hard not to fish when you got white bass and crappie and the bass are starting to really get active. This is the time of year to be out fishing, and there's a lot of people that are stuck at home. Okay, I'm gonna move out of this eddy pretty quick. What I'm trying to do is make this white jig look like a fluttering shad. A lot of times that's what they do, is they don't completely have their wits to them, and they're just kind of swimming, but they're floating and just kind of fluttering a little bit. Try to make it look alive. But wounded, easy prey. Okay, I'm gonna move over to the bluff. This first quarter mile up here below Lookout, it's got some really, really good eddies along the bank, and then you get down a little further and you kind of run out of some of those eddy pockets. A little bit slower water where these fish will hold. Not all of them. A lot of them are on the bottom, out in the middle. I mean, it's not like the rest of the lake is void of fish. I think it is easier to fish this slower water to work your jig instead of getting out and working the middle where it's faster. Sorry, I had to roughhouse you. You're not that big. I just tried to turn that jig upside down and let the fish fall off the jig by its own weight. That's why I don't touch the fish. What I'm trying to do with the trolling motor is try to keep the boat moving about the same speed as the water closer to the bank, which is moving a lot slower than the water I'm sitting in. Again, trying to work that jig just so it's drifting and fluttering. Trying to get down as deep as I can without going all the way to the bottom. Oh, I just missed one. There's a lot of wood along this bank, so you're dropping it down to snags down there where you really can't see the bottom, can't see the snags in most cases. So you tend to lose a lot of jigs. Oh, not a good cast. You don't want to throw it in the trees. I just saw one flash at my jig. He missed it. Oh, I just missed one. This is a nice little eddy behind this tree. This fallen tree. A little bit slower water where these fish will sit. I just missed one. So when you throw it out there and you're letting it drop, you'll get a lot of bites when it's just the initial drop. So you don't want to throw it out there and just kind of go mindless while it's sinking. You're really paying attention. Nice rainbow. Just barely hooked in the nose. I remember somebody commented one time about how we dropped the fish back in the lake, that it was hard on them, kind of a belly flop. And we talked about it, and we decided that in a lot of, oh, I got one of those trees. In a lot of mountainous states, they stock rainbows out of planes. They drop them from, I don't know, a couple hundred feet. They drop them into these high altitude lakes and they survive. I know they're smaller, but you know, they hit the water pretty hard. Probably, I don't think it's going to hurt them too bad. But we don't. Ooh, this reel needs a little bit of lubrication. I might not use it very long. In fact, I'm not going to use it at all. Something's going on with it. I have to take it apart and check it. It's very stiff. You want a pretty smooth reel, or you're gonna lose a lot of your feeling. It messes up your action. Oh man, that's a nice new cold reel. The metal's cold. This water's pretty fast in here. Got a sculpin and ginger, and I think it's a 3/32 ounce. It's not an 1/8 ounce. So I have to work this a little bit slower. this water's cooking through here. I have a nice little eddy just below this point. Fish came right up and took something off the surface right in front of me. I think I just touched bottom. Short. This is a stretch. There's not a whole lot of slack water, so I'm gonna back out and just kind of work this. Oh. Ooh, that wind's starting to blow. It's cold. Oh man. It's not blowing much, but it's just enough. Oh, yeah, it's cold. Come on, fish. Here's a nice eddy right here. Catch a fish out of that. Come on, fish. Maybe I should have stuck with white. I mean, I did pretty good with sculpin and peach, sculpin and ginger the other day. Dwayne did okay yesterday. Oh, missed one. Not really on it. Like they were the white. This is still great. This is, with this kind of flow, it came around that point up there, and all this water is just really nice and slow along the bank. Take advantage of it, but it's not working. Fish are not cooperating. Been going white bass fishing over at Swan Creek on Bull Shoals the last couple of evenings, and 2 evenings ago it was that 93, 95 degree day, and water is warm. The whites, that's a fish, Phil. The whites were up in Swan Creek, starting to spawn, getting closer to dark. We caught a few little males, but it was tough. We could see them. Lost him. Couldn't catch them, which is normal for spawn a lot of times. There's another one. Last night went back, cooler, didn't see as many fish, didn't catch as many fish. But it was nice to get out. Swan Creek's a beautiful little creek. We boated up as high as we could. Another pretty rainbow. My hands are cold. But it's spring, so it's gonna get warm. I'm not gonna have to worry about cold hands. For several months. Get off there. Tried to go under these limbs, but it didn't work. Slip that up underneath the trees there. Looks like a good spot. Oh, was a good spot. I got a good fish. I'm gonna get away from the bank. This is gonna take a while. Kind of looked like a brown. I saw some flashes. Oh, yes. I need to loosen this drag if he's going to let me do that. Nope, he's not going to let me do it. There we go. Yeah, it's better. Oh, boy, I thought I lost him. He flipped around and got his tail on my line. It's a classic way. I know they don't do it on purpose, but it's a classic way to lose any fish. He did it again. he turns all the way around and he hits the line with his tail. A lot of times that will push. He did it again. Oh man. He is making some moves. I'm surprised to still have him. He's flicked that line 5 or 6. He just did it again. It's a nice brown. I just can't put a lot of pressure on him. Oh, that wind's cold. God. He wants to go back over to that bank. I personally, and I've been here 36 years, 37, coming up on 37 years. I've never seen this many big fish caught in a short period of time. You know, I think you got to go back to the 70s or in the 60s to see the quality of trout. I know it's not like back in the heyday where you were catching 5, 6, 7, 8 pound rainbows all the time. But, oh, that's cold. This is pretty incredible, really. And it just, last week we started catching all these browns? People have asked me, why are you catching so many browns? I don't know. You know they gotta be here, because they're not, oh, come on. They're not getting caught out. I had a feeling he was working that jig so much. Just working it. It was pulled out. I saw him pretty good. He's probably 23, 24 inch brown. I'm gonna end on that. I'm cold, my hands are cold. I had a feeling I wasn't gonna get him. I just had a feeling. I've never had a fish turn and flip that line. He was so long, he just kept turning, and I could feel him just doing this on my line. You know, he's pulling it tight, and he's hitting it with his tail like that, and it'll flick that jig out. I think he just worked it out. Nothing I could do, I don't think. Okay, I'm gonna go warm up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.